Hello there, Vic Benedict here. We're playing Gears of War 4 on the Series X, and this is my insane difficulty guide and walkthrough. We're currently on Act 4-5. It is entitled Storm Warning. So having a long shot on this part really helps, so I hope that you watched my previous videos where I encouraged you, or kind of pleaded with you to take the long shot into this stage, because it is quite helpful. It's not necessary though, so if you don't have one, you don't need to worry about it. But if things just can't work for you, you might try putting your pride aside for just a second and going back a chapter and picking up that long shot. So this is a difficult area because you can't use torque bows or boom shots or frag grenades because of the weather effects. Notice how it's all storming here and it's like a dust storm. Well, it prevents you from being able to see enemies too, and I don't really like that per se. I do know this though, after you kill 2 drones, you're gonna spawn the 2 scions, and there are interweaving spawns that include hunters and other lesser drones. So I've never got hit by a torque bow from a hunter, but I imagine I just got fortunate. But they're really far away, and I don't really know how much damage the long shot does with a perfect active reload. Like, I don't know the numbers for it, but it is pretty safe to stay in this area and shoot these guys down with the custom Lancer. They're one-trick ponies pretty much. They'll fire the mulcher until it overheats, and then they can't do a single thing until it cools down. So during all that time, and I don't know how much time it is, I'd like to say 10 seconds, but it's probably not 10 seconds, maybe 5, 6. There's also a buzz saw up there, buzzkill. I'm not gonna use it because it's gonna be too clunky. I need maneuverings that are not, clunky, like using the drop shot or the buzzkill. But yeah, you need to take care of those scions first, and they do approach you steadily, and they can get up in your face. So the nice thing though about the torque bow is that even though the other weapons are affected by the weather, the long shot isn't. So thank God for small mercies. I was wondering how they were going to change things up in the 6th game. I talked about being able to plant 6 grenades instead of just the customary 2. What if, like I've said in my Gears of War 3 guide, what if you could save your active reload until you wanted to use it? Get the active reload, right? And say you want to get an active reload with the Lancer, or it could be any gun, but say the Lancer. You get your perfect active reload, it saves it, and then there's a certain amount of time before you lose it, but just have it so that as long as you get the perfect active reload and switch to another weapon quickly, it won't unsave, if you will, because there's a lot of times in this game where I do active reloads just because it's the stock and trade in my mind, and what I'm supposed to be doing all the time. And it would really be nice to be able to have that sort of complexity added to what is already a very complex system. Okay, I believe we're done. But do you know what I mean, though? You save their active reload for the Lancer, switch to, I don't know, a torque bow or whatever, and then after you've done with the torque bow, switch back to the Lancer and then get going with yourself good with whatever, the Lancer that had the perfect active reload. Notice I picked up 2 torques over there. Now the thing about that is that we do want to be accumulating torque bows throughout this stage because they're helpful on the Swarmak boss fight. So there's 4 juvies over here, okay, and then there's 2 enemies that dig in. There's this bastard right here, and then there's also another guy in the shed beyond where that rock is that this guy was just hiding behind. So I'm gonna go up here and chainsaw him. He has hit me once before, so that's a damn lot of blood. Okay, so don't go near the bridge. Just stand right here. This is a waiting period. You're waiting for story progression to happen. I feel bad for the people that would just go on that bridge and just get shot up and not have a checkpoint. It's pretty stupid. But anyway, help your teammate lift this down, and then you're going to be using, I think these are the turkey guns, the siege beasts, aren't they? From Gears 2. You need to aim. So the objective here, it says destroy the turret. You need to be aiming around the, I don't know what you would call that. It's like some sort of a tower. See, you're trying to hit the turret. It could take 2 to 3 hits, depending on how accurate you are. But you're not trying to destroy the tower. A lot of people get confused by that. You're just trying to shoot the boulder so that it goes around the tower and then goes over to the left and hits the turret, and thus exploding the area where the turret was located. So as long as you're not too long doing that, I don't think you can die, because you notice when I was aiming and things, I was getting shot at quite a bit. So if you can manage to do it pretty quickly, I wouldn't imagine that you would get killed there. The fight that's in this room is a little tricky. You're going to be shooting a sniper at first, so if you have a long shot, that's a great thing to have. The torque bow is good too, and boom shot, anything's good on him. You just have to be careful because he kills you really quickly. And after this fight is programmed so that one of your teammates goes near one of the pods and a screamer comes out. It happened to me every time. So I thought that it was programmed right into the fight, and I do believe that it is. But what would be better if when the screamer spawned, they gave you, at least a few seconds to kill him so that you can prevent him from screaming and, having all hell fucking break loose. I think that would be a great addition to Gears 6. But you want to shoot all the environmental objects that you can. All of the cars, cranes, barricades, everything. You can't seal these holes, so don't use your frag grenades to try to do it because they're pointless. It won't work. I've never got rushed back here. Oh, you might wonder, well, how does the hole seal then? Well, they're not called holes in this game. They're called nests, but they seal of their own accord, just like the holes did in the earlier games. I was thinking about Gears of War 6. Well, Gears 6. I have to remember to say it that way. Imagine if you could jump in Gears of War somehow, because they can do everything else. They could use this heavy equipment on their bodies and still vault over cover and roll around. So maybe they could jump on Gears of War 6. That might be pretty funny. That might be pretty fucking hilarious, actually. Because there isn't much time before we get to the Swarmak boss fight, I really need to talk about him because he's quite difficult. And having a torque bow is helpful. In my Inconceivable guide, I headshotted both of the Scions that come into the fight, making it a much more manageable fight. But that kind of thing doesn't sit well with some people a lot. Seeing somebody do something that's very skillful, and when they're just simply trying to beat the game. So I decided not to do the headshots on the Scions. I tried for a while to do it, and a couple times I didn't even need to shoot them twice. I had them grouped up, and I did like piercing kills on both of them at the same time. It was really satisfying. But he also has lackeys, though. But this is what we're gonna do. And by the way, this part up here fucking sucks dick. What we're going to do is we are going to kill the Scions early on in the fight, but I'm going to try to make it so that more people can emulate it, and you can get by without a high degree of commitment to what's going on that fight. Okay, so if you want to look on my Inconceivable guide, you'll see that strategy where I headshotted the Scions. And this boss, here's my new opinion of this boss. I like the boss, but I don't like him having to have helpers, and they're very difficult helpers. They're heavy enemies, maybe even ultra heavy enemies, if you want to call it that. But the fight's going to start in just a minute. Like, I think this might even be the door that we go through to fight. One of the good things about the boss is that at least it's nicely checkpointed. It does have minions to help him, but you can actually kill off the minions. So remember, by the time you get here, you want to have your boom shot maxed out if possible. And remember, there are a couple more pickups for the boom shot. In this boss room, I think there's just about every weapon you could want. There's limitless ammunition. And at first, we're going to be doing something that is kind of tutorialized in this room, where you're shooting a transistor core after you pull a switch. And what you want to do is just shoot it until it glows bright yellow, and then you want to stop shooting. You don't want to overshoot and leave yourself more vulnerable when you can just stop shooting and then get back into cover. So see how it's glowing yellow? It will by and by explode. And that's what we're going to be doing to 4 of the towers. And this boss is challenging. It's mostly the missiles that he shoots and the incredible amount of splash. They went kind of overboard with it, I think. But if you don't have the torque bow, don't worry about it. There's a torque bow pickup coming up. I would hope that you did have the torque bow, though, because it's really effective at killing blisters. This thing's going to have blisters on his body that you're going to need to pop, and he moves and shuffles around quite a bit, so it can be hard for your patience to keep an eye on him and make a good decision about when you want to shoot him, and just be patient. So I'm going to go up to one of these rooms over here. I'm going to grab the torque bow, and then I'm going to go back up to this room right over here. And you just never know when all of the pods are going to pop, because it's based on different things that I think I've mentioned. But you pull the switch, you get behind cover, and you shoot the core just like you did a few moments ago. And once you explode it, he'll be vulnerable. In fact, I think you have to do this twice for it to work. We'll shortly see. So if you need to see where those towers are that you need to go to, just press the left bumper. Oh no, the first one was just one. But did you see that torque bow? It completely took out his blister. But the trade-off with this weapon, of course, is that you got to be really accurate. and it can be a wasteful weapon if you have to, you know, not shoot it because you're in danger and you have to stop shooting. So your teammates do a decent job of helping you, and he stands still well enough. I mean, they do cut you a break. Now, every time you finish a sequence after you get a checkpoint, they're going to put you down right to where you started. So every time I get a checkpoint, I will be thrown down to a familiar place that you're probably recognized from your struggles. And it's just going to be an abrupt edit every time, only because there's no real way to do match cuts. I mean, you could, but it's such a frustrating experience without the match cuts. Okay, so I do apologize about that. I think I went up the tower that I just was at. I got confused. Apologize about that. Feel bad about people, having to waste their time seeing me go up there fucking twice, but just keep pressing that left bumper to see which ones of these are available. Okay. Let's go ahead and shoot the core. You could always see the destroyed core too if you're going up to a tower. If it looks like it's destroyed, then you definitely have been there. Okay, so now we're gonna head down here. He's in need of being weakened. There's a checkpoint right there. Now we're gonna come up here, pull this other switch, and I do believe the next checkpoint is the one with where the scions come out, and you really don't want the scions. So what I've in my Inconceivable guide, I have like an advanced strategy, but for this walkthrough, and it's not because it's a lesser difficulty or I feel like you're less capable, you as a player. It's because since I already did that strategy on the other walkthrough, and since I actually mentioned on that walkthrough that on my Insane guide, which is something that I was referring to, the original guide that was deleted because this is the Redux project, but I mentioned on the other guide that I did something different than popping both of the heads of the scions. But make no mistake, we're going to kill the scions and we're going to kill all of the drones. I've got a good spot for you to stand. Just make sure that you have a boom shot. If you don't, I'll show you two spots where boom shots exist. There's one up in, this platform we were just on, there's one hanging in the ceiling. I'm going to leave it be though. We should be getting another checkpoint. Here's the checkpoint right over here. Let's see, there you go. There's the checkpoint. On my Inconceivable guide, I ran over to the back of the room where the scions spawned and popped their heads. But here's a boom shot right here. It gave us 4. Now you want to come up here. This is a fairly safe place. See the scions to the left? What we want to do is boom shot them as much as possible. There's a boom shot right behind me too if you run out. Obviously don't shoot when they're shooting, and you want to shoot only when their gun overheats or when they're doing that that buff attack. Well, not attack, but that, I'm not sure, they're fucking witchcraft that gives them the ability to buff people. But did you see that we just took out the scions? You definitely want to do that because not only can their suppressive fire add to your misery along with the swarm axe fire, but you've got harder enemies at that point, because when a scion exists, he has hardened that enemy and made him have more HP and possibly have a mindset where he's going to charge you. So now what we've done is we've taken out the scions. We've taken out some of the drones. Did you see a moment ago? I was shooting off that balcony and over to the left, getting a couple cluster kills a couple times to kill those drones. And I'm gonna put a couple grenades here. Do I? Possibly. That's for any drone that rushes me, but I'm not sure if these ones rush you. I'm not sure if it has to be an elite that rushes you. But from here, you have a boom shot on top of the ceiling over here. You've got a Marxa over to the right. You've got your good guns. Just I really wouldn't use a torque bow on these drones. Just use your Lancer or your snub or the Marxa over there. But I am kind of moving the camera just to make sure they're not coming up the stairs. But if they do come up the stairs, I'll definitely hear them because the grenade will go off. We're using the Boltok now. And since we did all those cluster kills, there aren't many drones. There's like 3 drones left. That's all we need to do. So you really need to be careful too of the audio tells of this boss. When he does this deep growling noise, it means he's firing off rockets, and I almost can't even tell you what to do about it because it seems like sometimes it's just so fucking completely unfair as far as your interpretation of how well you are placed in cover and the enormous amount of splash this fucking bitch boss has. Now, on my Inconceivable guide, I did say that I liked this boss, and as I mentioned, I think I do like the boss, but I don't like minions. I've never liked minions. Because if you're a boss, why do you need help? You know. But once all the drones are killed, then it's nice that they're normal drones. Like you don't want elites doing all their tomfoolery. We have a kind of a hard situation now at this point. Even though the drones are gone, we've got to pop all the blisters off of this thing, and a lot of times he's in a position where you really just don't have line of sight on the blisters. So I think this station is pretty decent because it affords you a lot of protection from the missiles. Not from the machine gun fire though. That can get you a lot. But I'm using my assault rifle here to start popping these blisters. There's 4 blisters, and of course they have a lot of HP. It's ridiculous. That's what makes it so challenging. You shoot it for days, practically. And if you feel like you have to move around, you know, just bear in mind that you're going to be taking a risk. But in defense of the entire environment, there is a lot of cover. There's a lot of places that you can hide. So it doesn't make the boss harder in that sense. Look how many hits it takes to pop these blisters. It's crazy. There we go. There's one popped. He's gonna get stunned. He's got one on his back as well, or on his tail. Is it his tail? Something on his tail. But this is the hardest checkpoint by far, because we're still on that Scion checkpoint. But once we pop these blisters, we're going to get a checkpoint, and it will be the final checkpoint. Okay, so another blister is popped. I think we need to pop 2 more blisters. Perhaps, I'm not sure if I changed my location. I'm just not sure. I definitely want to torque those blisters if I can, but I need him to stand still. I need a good line of sight on him, and I need him to stand still. So I'm coming down here now, thinking about either going over to the tower that we were on when we killed the Scions, or maybe just kind of go around the room and try to find some good hiding spots and capitalize on moments where I have a good line of sight. Oh, I am going up here. I thought I was. Yeah, I think that's what I decided to do. Just use the room to the best of your ability. There we go. It's such a satisfying sound effect too when it pops. It's so cathartic. You feel so good about yourself, like you're actually making progress. I think he's got one more blister. But there's an epilogue to all this bullshit as well. But blessedly, I think it's just a matter of popping one final blister. But you do get a checkpoint, so. But the strange thing is, they do checkpoint it nicely, right? So you get plenty of checkpoints. It's just, this checkpoint is hard. That's the thing. Ooh, man, Jesus. If I had got killed there, I would be way, way back. I would have Scion spawning right now. So fortunate. Where is that fucking blister, man? There it is. He's standing still, too. I bet I'm going to miss it out of fear. Yeah, I missed it. Ooh, he's dropping some missiles. Oh, here we go. Am I going to miss it? I didn't. Okay, oh, is it still not over? Is there one more switch to pull? Let's take a look here, because right now I just pulled up my objective too, but I saw ambiguous sentences up there. His blisters are all popped, no? So I think one of these towers must have a core that's not destroyed that we can use to throw the transistor core. This is really dangerous too. This is absolute stupidity, but I thought he was stunned. What's going on up here? Ah, this is the final place you need to go to. Oh, I see. Then we're going to get a checkpoint, right? Watch this. It'll say checkpoint. It should. Unless it already said it. My mic was right in my way. Oh, we have to destroy this too. Okay. So at the end, make sure you look for the one core that's not damaged. We're gonna get a checkpoint, guys. Just hold on. After we pick up our father. Okay, here we go. I think I was too slow to shoot it the first time. Well, not really too slow. I just is there a checkpoint? There it is. And then they're going to put us down here. And here's the anticlimactic ending here. Where you've got a bunch of... is this where they have a bunch more juvies? Yeah, you got a bunch more juvies coming at you over here. It's not too bad, though. Thankfully, it is only juvies. So just get onto one of the towers that has a nice narrow path so that you can funnel all of them down. And these are just regular spawners, I think. I don't think they summoned... they were summoned by the Screamer. So I'm going to make my way down there. I'm going to pick up that boom shot. I think you lose all your weapons in the next chapter, so it's not going to matter. He's growling. He's mad. Okay, so... Oh, man. But it doesn't matter that we have a checkpoint. See how things matter sometimes, and then they absolutely don't matter. And most of the times in games, the things that matter shouldn't, and vice versa. But at this point, he only has one more blister. I think it's on his chin. And I destroy it with a boom shot. Is this it? Or a boom shot? Yeah, this is it. Right over here. I missed the first time because I suck. There we go. We defeated the Swarmak. That's a very difficult chapter and a hard as hell boss. I will see you in the final act of Gears of War 4. And until then, please take care.